Hello, my name is Katrina Zeno, and welcome to the 6th video in this series entitled Living in the Glory. Did you have a chance to watch the video on Kevin and his friends taking them over all parts of Europe? And then did you find the video of their trip to China? It's pretty inspiring, isn't it? I love human ingenuity, and I especially love it when we apply our creativity to figuring out new and unexpected ways of making a gift of self to God and others. And these gifts of self sometimes catch people by surprise, and they affirm their own significance, and they affirm our own significance and worth as well. In this video, I would like to start with something I think we're all familiar with, what I have here. 2 Lego pieces. So I want to take this white one, and I want to take this gray one, these Lego pieces, and I want to stick them together. Okay, wasn't that amazing? Pretty good, huh? All right, shall I do it again? Okay, I'll take the white one, stick it together with the gray one, and ta-da, there they are. All right, what's my point? Sometimes I think we have the impression that, like these 2 Legos, God took a body, and he took a soul, and he stuck them together. And that's how we came into being. Maybe you've never thought of it that way, but that's kind of how I thought for many years. And what changed my perspective was going through a very difficult and dark time in my life. Have you ever gone through one of those times of darkness where inside you were filled with so much pain that you weren't even sure you were going to make it from day to day? Well, that happened to me when I was about age 30. So I hope you won't mind if I share a little bit more of my personal story with you. At the time, I had been married for 10 years, and my husband began to experience an intense inner struggle with his personal identity, and this was tearing our marriage apart. We decided to separate for a little bit, and then tragically, our marriage ended. To say I felt sad would be an understatement. That would be like saying the Baltic Sea is a big puddle. It's not a big puddle. It's a huge sea. When my marriage fell apart, I felt as if someone had taken my identity, placed it on a table, and smashed it into a million pieces. My life and my identity were shattered, and I was absolutely devastated. Suddenly, I found myself the opposite of everything I had always dreamed of being. Instead of being happily married with 4 or 5 children, staying at home and raising our family, I was now divorced. I was a single mother with 1 child, and I was working outside the home trying to avoid slipping into poverty. Almost every day was a physical, emotional, and spiritual struggle just to keep going. It was during this time that I met Pope John Paul II in Rome and began reading his writings. His writings were like a life preserver that kept me from drowning in deep sorrow and feelings of defeat, as his teachings, his writings slowly helped me to rebuild my very fragmented identity. They helped me put the pieces of my life back together again. So the first step in putting my life back together, as we saw in the last video, was encountering this idea of gift. That even though my life certainly didn't turn out the way I wanted, my life was still a gift. And I could learn how to make a gift of self to God and others, even in my very imperfect and very difficult situation. But there was something else that St. John Paul II taught me as well. Not only am I a gift, but my body is a gift. Have you ever heard someone speak a truth and at first you want to deny it? Oh, no, that can't be true. Because it seems to directly contradict your own experience. Well, that was my reaction to hearing that my body was a gift. A few years ago, I watched an interview with a woman writer who made this observation. She said, when women say we hate our bodies, we don't always mean we hate the shape of our bodies, but that we hate having bodies at all. Okay, well, I wouldn't go that far. as to say that I hated my body, even though, remember, I'd been called fatso and 4 eyes. But I certainly wasn't pleased to have a body. My body seemed to cause so much hurt and pain that I thought I would be much happier without my body. I looked forward to the day when I would shed my body like a snakeskin and be rid of it. Thank goodness! In heaven, I would finally be a pure soul, free from the limitations and the burden of my body that weighed me down in this life. Have you ever felt that way about your body? Well, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was walking directly in the footsteps not of Jesus Christ, but of Plato. Plato, as you may have studied in school, was a Greek philosopher who lived about 2,400 years ago. He taught that the soul was the true nature of the person, and that the body was like a prison that trapped the soul and weighed it down. True human happiness, Plato taught, consisted in liberating the soul from the physical matter of the body, thus allowing the soul to return to its original purely spiritual state. Ah, that sounded liberating to me. Sign me up, right? I was all ready for that. But there's one problem with Plato's viewpoint. It contradicts both the Bible and our human experience. Imagine for a moment, I know this is sad, but just imagine that your best friend's father has just died. Isn't your immediate response a desire to comfort and console your friend? How are you going to do that without your body? Can your soul by itself comfort your friend? It can't. Or think about something you love to do because it fills you with those energy-producing endorphins. Maybe you love to ski or ride a motorcycle, or maybe like me, you love to dance. How can you do any of those things without your body? Have you ever seen a soul riding a motorcycle? And what about Christmas Eve dinner? Can you imagine showing up for Christmas dinner without your body? Or getting married without your body? Or worshiping God without your body? These are all bodily experiences because they are human experiences. Even though I had studied theology and I had been a lifelong Catholic, I had never really understood Genesis chapter 2, verse 7 until John Paul II unveiled it for me. Here's what Genesis 2:7 says. Then the Lord God formed man of dust from the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. In this second chapter of Genesis, God acts more like a potter. He's taking clay or dirt from the ground and he's shaping it into the form of a human being. At this point, though, the human being is composed only of matter. It's only when God breathes into this material shape his own breath, the breath of life, does man become a living being, a living soul. This is a great story. I can just imagine Adam telling his children later, well, do you know how I came into existence? God himself scooped up some of the matter he had created and then with his own hands, he formed my body, right? And he points to his own body. But he wasn't finished. Then he breathed his own spirit, the invisible spirit of God to me. And suddenly, I was alive, just like you are. And he lifts up one of his children and he just dances around with great joy. Can you imagine being Adam, telling that story to your children? Embedded in these words of Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, is a profound truth that's easy to overlook. Our human nature is not simply material, as if matter evolved itself into a human consciousness. However, our human nature is also not just purely spiritual, as if the soul, which is immaterial, is all that really matters. Rather, as St. John Paul II said in a retreat he once said, he said, the body together with the soul co-create the essence of the human person. Or put simply, to be a human person is to be a unique body-soul unity. That's who you are. A unique and unrepeatable body-soul unity. You see, a body needs a soul. And the soul needs a body. Your unique and unrepeatable body and your unique and unrepeatable soul are designed by God to go together. You, your identity, your person is a unique body-soul unity. Okay, now we can spiral back around to our Legos here. See, your body and soul are not like two Lego pieces that just got stuck together. Your spirit, your soul permeates. See, these don't permeate each other. They're very separate. But that's not our body and our soul. Our soul, our spiritual part of us, permeates every dimension of our body. This means that your body is a visible expression of your invisible spiritual soul. I can only encounter your unique significance and personhood through your body. That's why I hope someday we can sit down and have a cup of coffee together. So I can experience your unique body-spirit unity. And you can only encounter my unique significance and personhood through my body. All right, what if I decided, like I just did, to record the rest of this video like this, with my body off camera? Did you say, well, where did she go? Of course you did. Would it make a difference, the fact that my body's no longer on camera? Of course it would, because you want to see me when I talk. At least I hope so. My body is expressive of my person. It's through my body that I make visible what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm a gift. I'm thinking you're a gift. I'm thinking we're a gift. I'm thinking the body is a gift. You see, I can only express myself through my body. Okay, let's go back to my story. Do you remember what was happening in my life journey when I discovered through St. John Paul II and Genesis 2 that my body and soul were created for each other, that they were meant to go together? I was in the midst of feeling as if my body was the problem, and that the ideal solution would be to get rid of my body, or at least exchange it for a different body. Gradually, though, through St. John Paul II and Genesis 2, I started the process of healing my body image. The first step was to accept my human nature as this unique body-spirit unity, rather than identifying myself as a soul that was just temporarily using a body that I would eventually discard and get rid of. That was the first step. Okay, I'm a unique body-spirit unity. The second step was, you guessed it, to see my body as a gift, as a friend, not as an enemy or a threat to my happiness. This is what, remember this from before, GS24, from the last video taught me, that I could make a gift of self to God and others precisely through my body. Man cannot fully find himself except through a sincere gift of himself. But there's one more thing that contributed to my healing, and we've seen it before. It was this. It was the inner life of the Trinity as a total gift of self in love. Only I needed to learn myself how to make this gift of self to God and others. And as I learned this, as I experienced the startling truth that not only does my soul reveal God, but my body reveals God. That's what I realized. As I started to learn to make my gift of self through the body, I learned the body reveals God. So I'd always thought about my soul as imaging God because God is spirit and my soul is spirit. So that's how I image God. You see, it never crossed my mind that my body and my spirit together image God. Why is that true? Because I can only make a gift of myself through my body. I can only image a Trinitarian God through my body, not apart from my body. Remember what St. John Paul II said. To say that man, the human person, is created in the image and likeness of God means that man is called to exist for others, to become a gift. So let's try a little experiment. All right, I'm going to say, my body reveals God. And then I want you to repeat it after me. Okay, ready? Here we go. My body reveals God. Now it's your turn. Ah, good job. Okay, but let's do it again, only a little bit more enthusiastic. Here we go. My body reveals God. Okay, it's your turn. All right, fantastic. My body reveals God. Your body reveals God. Do you believe that? Do you believe that your body is good? Very good. That your body is not a threat to your happiness, and especially not a threat to your relationship with God and the fullness of life that He desires for you. The glory of God is man fully alive through our bodies. You see, this body, your body, is what makes you significant in the world because your body is irreplaceable. Can I say that one more time? Your body is irreplaceable. It's priceless. There will never be another unique body-soul unity like yours. You are not two things just stuck together like Legos. You are an embodied person, co-created by the two realities of body and soul united together in love. It took a long, long time, years, for this truth to seep deep into my identity so that my body became, in a way, like my best friend. I mean, it goes with me wherever I go. My body and I, we share my joys and my sorrows. My body and I, we share relating to God and relating to others. And my body and I share living in the glory together. To end this video, I'd like to share with you a reflection I wrote a number of years ago entitled An Apology to My Body. Afterwards, I hope you will take time to write an apology to your body because you and your body are worth it. Here's what I wrote. An apology to my body. Dear body, thank you for being so patient with me. Thank you for going wherever I go and for allowing me to accomplish so much. Thank you for allowing me to see the beauty of a sunset, taste the delicacy of chocolate, hear the singing of birds after the winter quiet, feel the softness of a kitten's fur, smell the memory-laden scent of a Christmas tree. You do all this without asking for any thanks, without demanding anything from me, without chiding me. And in return, I am sorry for the times I've taken you for granted. I'm sorry for the times I wished I could trade you in for a better model, a different model, someone else's model. I'm sorry for the ways that I drive you and demand high performance from you, all the while depriving you of what you need. Adequate sleep, healthy food, regular exercise. And yet, you don't complain. Oh, okay, well, at times you do. And my response is to ignore you, or to tell you to shut up, or to try to take a pill to make you be quiet. And yet you only want my best good. You only want to serve me to the best of your capacity. Please forgive me for the ways I have ignored you, criticized you, defamed you, and even despised you. Please forgive me for not loving you, appreciating you, and being in awe of your amazing intricacies. Please forgive me for forgetting that you are sacred. You are the place where God dwells, that God reveals Himself through you. I want to be a better friend to you. In fact, I want to be a lover to you. I want to love you and welcome you and behold your beauty the way I would any person that I cherish. You are the only body that I will ever have. I do not get another one or a different one, either here on earth or for all eternity. Let's make a promise to each other. I'll take care of you and you take care of me. Then together we can radiate God's love to the world. Can we make a deal? Deal. So here's my challenge to you. Before the end of today, take a few minutes in a quiet place and write an apology to your body. It's easy. Just start with the words, dear body, like I did. And then write whatever comes to mind. You might be surprised what you and your body have to say to each other and how even your body desires to live in the glory.